November 7th, brought to you by Game Time today. Football season is here, and we can't wait to get out to some games this fall with the help of Game Time, the official ticketing partner of Barstool Sports. You know how much we love Game Time now with their brand new Game Time Picks feature. They're making it even easier to get to a game. Game Time Picks filters out the fluff to show you incredible deals on great seats so you won't have to waste time searching through thousands of tickets. I was looking at tickets for Georgia Ole Miss, which you're going to be at.
Yeah, I'll be there.
So an amazing Game Time Picks deal for only $234 in the end zone. It's a big ticket. Nice little view from there. Just pull out your chosen event and turn on the GT Picks setting at the top of the screen and browse the best local Game Time Pick deals near you or on your Game Time app homepage. What are you waiting for? I'm going to buy those Ole Miss tickets now with Game Time Picks. Download the Game Time Pick app today and use code PICKS to easily score great deals with new Game Time Picks. What time is it? Game Time. Joined, as always, by Brad Powers. No.
He was on there, and the second he said it, he just disappeared.
I think that's it.
I think he was looking at those tickets for Game Time, apparently. I think the deal was so good, he just clicked right in.
I think his Wi-Fi might be shot because he keeps going in and out.
Keeps going in and out?
Is it on? I trust Dukes.
No, I trust Dukes.
I trust Dukes as well.
I wasn't laughing at that. I was just laughing at Bosco being like, "Here's Brett." And he was there the whole time.
Well, the first thing I wanted to ask Brad anyway is Napier. Just he's back.
Yeah, it's funny.
Crazy.
It's funny because it was something I'd brought up on Necessary Evidence a few times throughout the year. Like, do we think he gets saved? There he is. Do we think he gets saved? Do we think he gets saved? And then thinking, like if they were able to be competitive or win one of these last few games against Georgia, Texas, whoever, could they save his job? And he kind of pushed back on it very much, like, no. I was like, I don't know. Like, the team's like not as bad, like as people probably thought.
It's not as bad as they might make a bowl. I mean, it's gonna be hard.
Also, Florida should never be. They might make a bowl.
But
No,
I
that's
think
where
if
I
agree with
there's
that.
ever a
Even in
year
a down
where
season,
Yeah.
it should be 8 wins.
if there's ever a year where they get a pass for it like this, the schedule they played, it was just truly insane.
But also, we're talking about Florida. We're not talking about.
No, I get it. I get it.
Like,
I get it. I just the devil's advocate for it. Like they literally had to play Miami, Georgia, Texas, Ole Miss. They're gonna have to play. They're gonna play Georgia this week, or they're playing Texas this week. They just played Georgia. Play Ole Miss. Like
No, I
they
get
play,
it.
Like just all these teams that they're just a brutal Kentucky.
But how long has he been there?
This is year 3.
Yeah.
3.
And it hasn't
Louisiana,
been like,
yeah,
anything that great. Anything.
No,
a team that's got to be like, listen, we got to be good now.
Yeah, it just this was just a tough year from the start. He brings in like the Lagway kid who's played. He got hurt in
So you think he should stay? Like you think he should?
It's not that I think he should stay. I more just was. I feel like I was starting to see like
Guys got hurt. It's not that bad. Like we expected more. It was supposed to be the worst.
No, I know.
I think it was. Everyone before the year thought it was a foregone conclusion he would get fired after this year or during the season at some point. And I think I just earlier on than a lot of people like kind of just started seeing these signs being like, I feel like he might end up staying. Like they might keep him around. Like they might not fire him. And I'm who knows? Like I mean, they still I guess could. Would it be the first time an executive or like a president has said something and went back on it? You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
seems like they're going to keep him. I don't know. I just started seeing the signs early. I just was like, I feel like they really might keep this guy. They're not that bad. They just play such a brutal schedule.
Plus, guys got hurt. It is what it is. So,
Yeah, they had a lot of injuries. Like I think if Mertz, like I'm telling you, last week in Georgia, if Mertz plays that game or if just Lagway like doesn't get hurt, I think they have a real shot. Like they might win that game.
Yeah.
Like they've been right there with like some of the elite teams. I mean, they smashed Kentucky the week before. Smashed them. Like they're not that bad. Kentucky's like a respectable team.
Yeah, I'm going to pull up their schedule. Who do we think they could pick off to make the bowl game? Because they're going to beat Florida State. If they don't beat Florida State, that's a travesty.
Yeah, I don't know who they could. I mean, their schedule's insane. Like
At Texas, LSU, Ole Miss, Florida
yeah, like it's
State.
brutal. They have played like ending this like the fact that they took Tennessee to overtime. Like they're literally the number 7 at Tennessee, the number 7 team in the country. Like they beat. They lost to A&M, who's like aged well. Like they beat UCF. They beat Mississippi State, who's like bad, but I mean this run of ending the season with at Tennessee, Kentucky, at Georgia, at Texas, LSU, Ole Miss.
No, listen, I know it's
fucking
a insane schedule. I get it, and I know
I could see them beating LSU at
I
home.
see your side of it. I do, but it's also in my head. It's just Florida hasn't like. Why aren't they good this year? Is it recruiting? Is it not? Is he not doing good with the NIL? Is it like because Florida should be a landing spot where people are like, "Fuck yeah, let's go." I'm going to Florida now. It's like I feel like all Georgia's getting all those guys, which is fair because they're obviously been the best teams, but they're getting all the guys instead of Florida.
He brought in like one of the like. It's been kind of like debated, but like one of the argued like best quarterbacks in the country. That was like this. That was Lagway, who's played like okay.
Yeah.
Obviously, he's a true freshman playing in the SEC.
Just didn't pan out right away.
He's just a true freshman. I mean, I said if he stays healthy last week in the Georgia game, like if he doesn't get hurt, they might win that game. Like he might go beat Georgia. He's pretty good. It's just, and I think bringing in a guy like that, like the recruiting classes have been like highly rated to some degree. So
it's not. It's almost like how like the Yankees are reacting to Aaron Boone coming back, and they win the World Series. You know, like I feel like it's like this guy hasn't panned out at all, really, and they were excited for him, and it hasn't really worked out. I just think giving him another year, these fans are gonna fucking lose their mind. But all you have to do to make up for it is start winning next year.
If he just wins one of these games, if he picks off Ole Miss or LSU, you're in on him because they're gonna beat Florida State the last week of the year. Florida State stinks.
I think next year is the last year though.
Oh no! It'll be next year. Will be his, especially if Lagway stays. Next year will be his do or die year, 100%.
He would stay though, right? He's a freshman. Like you don't think he'll transfer?
It's all just you just never know with how NIL is now. Like even a big thing people are talking about today is the On3 reported that Dylan Stewart, his true freshman, like elite DN from South Carolina, or just because he's played so well this year, like he was a high recruit, but not like this, like number one player in the country kind of guy. and he's had a huge true freshman season, and they're already like basically negotiating his NIL to stay for next year.
I mean, it makes
and
sense.
It's $1 to $1.5 million.
It makes sense.
People were kind of like bugging out about that, but I'm like, if you have a blue chip DN who's 18 years old,
Also, it's South
you got to
Carolina.
pay him to stay because someone else will pay him to go.
Also, South Carolina. Like
Exactly.
Like, let me tell you, Georgia would have paid him already. Done.
Absolutely, and people are kind of making a big thing about that, but I'm like, that's kind of
What happens when your best player is running out like his on the Giants? His contract's running out. What does he want? It's the same fucking thing. It's just that he's a college kid.
I still can't believe. I mean, Genty turned down disgusting amounts of money.
To go places.
Bama and teams of that ilk, like Ohio State,
Really?
Bama, were recruiting the shit out of Genty, offering him tons of money.
I respect.
Why would he not go?
I respect.
He literally
why,
just said,
though?
"I want to stay at Boise State.
You know why,
do
though?
what I'm doing."
I think like he know, especially. I don't think he's putting up how many yards does he have?
He's got probably like 1,300 already.
I think he's amazing, and I just don't know if he's gonna have 1,300 yards. He might have 900,
Yeah.
but like I don't think he's gonna have 1,300.
He has a shot at winning the Heisman.
SEC.
It's been right now. It's the right choice.
I think we're talking about him more on Boise State.
Yeah.
And it's kind of crazy to say, but he's so the fact that Boise State's in the playoff right now, like people say they're gonna be the 12 seed, they're probably gonna be, right?
Yeah.
yeah,
They're gonna be
And-
favored in all their games.
as long as they went
Him
out,
getting them there. Like if he went to Alabama, I think Alabama's still a two-loss team.
If he goes to Bama, he's the clear number one back.
No, 100%.
Are they?
Do they make a difference?
Do they
in those
make
games?
that?
I think he might. He might make a difference.
I think they still at least lose one of those games.
No,
And
you're
it's
you're probably right. I guess I'll stick my flag in that. I think Genty's like truly like a special
I do too,
one of
though.
one kind of guy that's gonna. I think he's gonna come in the NFL and just like dominate.
I do too, but I almost think that he's going to be a higher draft pick for him staying at Boise State, which is crazy to say.
Maybe so.
I understand it's not.
But he was special like last year too, and that's like because
Boise State though.
like Judkin. If Genty goes to Ohio State, like Judkin doesn't come. Like Genty was like everyone's first pick.
Oh,
and he just didn't go.
I respect it. I respect because he's also like I'm about to get paid in the NFL. He's probably getting stuff at Boise State too.
You know, I'm sure Boise State gave him a little bit, but how much can Boise State really give him compared to Ohio State, Bama, and these type of like Georgia?
Yeah.
It is crazy. I guess good for him.
He's going to be a top 10 pick, so
I'd say top 20 for sure.
yeah.
Top 20.
Brad's having some
not
difficulty. I
sure.
think he's out for today.
I'm
So
not sure if
what
it's
he did,
He
mine
just
or
needs to text the pick.
he texted the pick.
Let me tell you
First
something.
thing I said to him.
Brad's the only. I gotta give Brad some. First of all, he does not have to do our show. Rico, good job getting him on the show. I think people literally listen to our show for Thursdays because of how much good information he gives. And myself, I'm dog shit at college football gambling lately. I just lately have just been putting everything on his pick. Iowa was a laugh.
Yeah.
Easy.
I turned the game off. It was so easy.
I do have to pick on him a little bit. You know how he bets the game of the years like early in the year? He's holding right now Michigan. He tweeted it, so it's not me like I didn't go out and I fucking, found the files. He tweeted it and was like, full disclosure, sometimes you make a bad one. Do you know what he's holding in the Michigan-Indiana game right now?
Like probably Michigan laying
Can I guess?
Yeah.
Michigan. I'm gonna guess
Michigan minus 13.5.
Michigan minus 14.
That's funny.
Unbelievable.
What's the line?
Plus
Indiana
14. It's
minus
reversed.
14.
It literally fully reversed.
Well, for a lot of those losses,
I
he's got
respect
good
it. I
numbers
respect
on-
it. I respect the
Honestly, though, I
transparency.
imagine this Michigan covers.
That's unbelievable. Oh my god.
Yeah, but he's also got probably so. I know
Yes.
It's funny what you're saying. He's definitely has so many that's flipped.
It's
enough.
funny. I was
100%.
looking at a few of those because BYU this week, like they're 3.5 point, 4-point favorites at Utah.
They must have been
Coming
getting
in-
like 7.
Plus Bosco 17.
Really?
Well, you got to remember BYU was predicted by a lot of people to be either like the worst team in the Big 12 or like one of the worst.
Yeah.
Like they were in like bottom. They unanimous like bottom half team.
It's crazy. I don't hate Michigan plus 14.
It's also like you got to give the guy credit. He makes those bets
I
in
guess.
July. He makes those bets in July.
Indiana
Of
just
course,
pummels.
for June.
Indiana has every single game is by 14 or more.
They just
Pretty
have.
crazy.
Is that just like the only respect game that they'll?
Let me
give
ask you
Ohio
a-
State.
Probably.
Let me ask you a question.
They haven't
on that,
already
though,
'cause
Ev.
Who's their biggest win?
Washington will probably be their best
That
one.
game is in Michigan.
Washington's probably like a 26th of probably like a
Michigan beat Washington.
like a 30th,
so it's
40th.
like, you're
That game
like,
is in
No,
Michigan.
Washington beat Michigan.
That game is
close though, right?
Yeah, close.
that
yeah.
game is in Michigan. It's the same as Oregon and Michigan. It's the same spread. Should Indiana be favored by the same as the number 1 team in the country? Because that's what they are.
It's a fair point. It's a fair point.
That's where like that line. That's the question I would have asked him. Like, should Indiana be favored as the same as the number 1 team in the country?
I honestly
Because Oregon was only laying 14-15, and now it's 14.5.
Look, what time is that game? Is it early? Just for context of the, where is it?
He likes LSU, Ole Miss, and State Penn in the big games. His best bet is
Actually, I love that. I'm on all 3 of those sides.
his best bet is
Wait. Don't say it yet. You said LSU he likes?
LSU,
Ole Miss, Penn
Ole Miss,
State.
State Penn.
Actually, I literally locked in those 3 this morning, so that makes me feel good. I like being aligned with Brad.
Okay, and what's best bet?
North Texas +6.
Ooh, against Army.
You
Interesting.
must know about the quarterback.
Interesting.
North Texas can score. They've put up some. They've
There's
been
0% chance that quarterback's playing then, right?
right. It's got to be.
I didn't realize I saw that clip about how Dave got screwed on that parlay.
Oh my god.
Because my dad was an Army, and that was, I hate when they do that shit. They literally didn't say a word that they didn't say anything about. He played the game before. They said nothing about. And Daly's like, before he misses that game, he's like top. He's still probably top 10 in Heisman.
You should have to say something.
Do you think they're going to start
Just
mandating
like a
injury
scratch?
reports?
No, they should, like,
Do
especially
you think they're going to
'cause
start mandating
I
injury
think they
reports?
have to because gambling's such a prominent thing.
Yeah.
I think they almost like that's not fair.
They didn't say a word. They didn't say anything. Like
So
there was
they don't
no,
have-
they don't have to report anything.
Wait, they don't have to?
No.
No,
That's crazy.
there was no inclination that he was injured whatsoever.
Why don't they have to?
A like elite college quarterback.
Imagine the NFL, you just didn't know.
And and for him, they can't say like he literally changed the spread by 3 points, the total by 3 points.
Yeah.
Significant.
Dude, you also know in the NFL if a guy's practicing Wednesday or not.
Yeah.
You know everything you have to, and that's what you should, especially if gambling's such a huge part of is a huge part of their sport. You have to. That's crazy. I didn't know that.
Did the line move at all?
Yeah.
Like 3, 4, even more because I think it was
Like I'm saying,
20.
like on like Wednesday.
What?
No, during the week it moved. It was moving like slightly because I think Air Force was getting some like big money because just like people are just hammering Army. They're laying these massive numbers as a triple option team. Like the triple option team defending a triple option team usually is like
Yeah.
good. Like the games stay close, and it literally landed on the new number. It was like 21.5. I think
they
it
won
got
by 18.
18. Some people there were 17.5s available. I think at some point.
That's crazy.
So some people, if you got 17.5, you won.
In 18, Dave would have pushed and that would have won 6-game parlay instead of 7.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
brutal.
would have won for like $300K.
That's
It
Yeah.
happened with Castellanos earlier this year too against Western Kentucky. He
Yeah.
was injured in the
Yeah.
celebration of Michigan State, maybe the red bandana game. He was injured. He got injured in the celebration and then wasn't reported. Didn't
Yeah.
play.
Yeah, we can go through the big games, together as we would. So, Georgia, Ole Miss.
Yeah,
What are you feeling on that?
I bet Ole Miss. I bet Ole Miss this morning.
I think here's where I'm at.
Line?
I think it's just
Three.
this is going to be a weird. I just think this is
2.5,
going to be a
3.
weird year. I think everybody, it's like 07-ish. It's giving me that. It's not as chaotic, but it's giving me those vibes. Maybe Georgia catches a second loss.
But Georgia also, the thing is what I agree with you, but Georgia has been looking,
Right. They haven't looked great.
ever since that picture of him and his girlfriend he's been no good. And
He hasn't been good all year, really. He has
he's been
he
good
has
in
not
the
been
second
consistent.
half of Alabama, and they lost.
And even then, he threw. And he was good in the second half
Kiffin at
against
home.
Clemson.
it's just like this is
Also, Ole Miss, really good defense, good offensive line. Like I think you're giving me 3
Yeah, it's
at
not
home.
just like Ole Miss is the run and shoot, and they're going to score 1 million. And
Yeah,
if it
no,
don't
they're
work,
not soft. They
they're
can,
not
they
like
can
they're
be like
they got dudes. Like they're playing defense.
Oh yeah, I agree with you guys. Just like sometimes Georgia does, like they just been skating by a little bit, and you're like, are they going to turn it on soon?
Right.
But they also might just not be able to. Like
Yeah.
that's what's tough about these teams when you're like used to Georgia putting it on people, and like sometimes there's bad games, but then they come out and win by 60 the next game. They just haven't really been doing that.
Now, like the only game they've done that is not even a game. It was just the second half of Clemson.
Yeah.
Is the
Yeah.
only time they've ever just like flipped that switch. Like they almost lost to Kentucky. They almost lost to Florida last week. Like they beat Mississippi State by 10. Like they're not this like
Beating Mississippi State by 10 really was the one where I'm like, that team sucks.
like they're not like the only reason they beat Florida by 2 touchdowns was they were down to their 3rd string quarterback. It was a dogfight when Lagway was playing.
It was a game.
Total dogfight.
They were down.
That's what I'm saying. They were winning. Florida was winning.
Yeah.
And then once Lagway got hurt, like they just couldn't move the ball anymore. And then Georgia kind of was able to just put together a couple drives, and that was it.
Yeah.
What do you think about? Go ahead.
No, yeah, I just think Ole Miss like getting 3 at home. Like I'm genuinely like so excited.
I just think we're headed for a chaotic.
Yeah, I think I'm going to the game as well.
Nice.
I think we're headed for a chaotic year. I think Georgia's going to catch a second L.
I'm in the suite, baby.
You're in a suite with Mincy?
That's Mincy claims. I got actually. He called me last night. I forgot to call him back. I was busy. I got to call him today.
Yeah, because you gotta know you gotta be on the phone for at least a half hour.
Yeah, I was like actively doing something when I think I was recording.
You have to have a time slot.
Yeah,
open.
I gotta I might have to call him like half hour before like the.
You got to put your listening ears on.
Like the game start tonight.
Yes.
Where I can like be like, hey, I gotta get off the phone like football start. And
because you never fully know what you're committing to as well.
Yes, it's a meeting. It's
that's the thing. Because everyone's dispersing. I'm staying. So and I'll have to record Nestor Roughness that night in the hotel, but there's sideline passes before the game. Sweet, I mean,
the guy's the number one NIL guy.
I need to strap a GoPro to me and just so I can follow him around and just.
You got no time for hoops practice? They're going to be pretty good too this year.
Actually, the athletic department invited us to go to the game tomorrow, but Pup Punk's happening.
Oh,
I told Robbie and the boys I'd be there for Pup Punk. So I'm doing that. So told them I would do that. But yet they're playing Grambling.
Oh, they're gonna win by a million.
If they were playing if it was like Ole Miss, like Florida, you might have seen me there.
You would probably have been courtside tomorrow.
Yeah, it was. I got the Mancini text me. He was like, "Oh, the athletic department wants to invite you guys," and I was like, I'm going to Pup Punk.
I'll say this about Mincy. I've gotten the Mincy experience in Ole Miss from Ole Miss baseball, and I'm not gonna lie, I had an unbelievable time.
I'm kind of excited.
He's like, hey, come to this tailgate. I had crawfish. They treated me like I was a king, and it was awesome. And I loved it. I loved it. And Ole Miss is have you been there?
No.
The only thing that sucks about Ole Miss is going to the Memphis airport. That's it. Everything about Ole Miss.
Yeah, flying in tomorrow.
Ole Miss is a fantastic, fantastic campus. The library's a fucking unbelievable bar.
That's where Pup Punk's performing.
That's where they're playing?
Yep. I'll be there tomorrow night.
Dude, it's like a legit, it's sick.
The Vodka Rebels will be flowing.
Yeah, I'm jealous that you're going. You're going to have a great time. Ole Miss does it right.
I'm excited. Very, very excited. But
the show's Saturday, right?
12:30 Central.
Nice.
So it's like 2 hours before the game starts. So
it's the 3:30 game.
Going to go to the game. Very excited.
3:30 Eastern. Bama LSU. I'm leaning Bama here. Brian Kelly in a big spot. I'm going to go against him.
I like LSU.
Really?
Yeah, I just think. So the one thing that I think helps Bama in this game is the weather's not supposed to be great. Because I think if we get clear skies, I think Nussmeier's chucking this ball all over the yard. I just don't like
with Bama's defense improving a little bit.
But has it really improved that much? I think their defense is bad. The only thing is LSU has a really good offensive line, but I think it's more like their pass protection is incredible. But LSU's receivers are so good, and I know Nussmeier had such a bad half against A&M. I still think he's a really good quarterback.
This is Alabama's. They win this, they're in.
LSU too.
Yeah.
The only thing LSU Florida will be like that's a game that's a sleeper the next week. But
yeah, but
the winner
Alabama's got nobody.
The winner of this game controls their destiny.
Yeah,
I'll say the winner of this game will get in. The winner of this game, if they win out, they will get in the playoffs.
They're not losing to Oklahoma. They're not losing to Auburn.
I don't think so.
I mean, Auburn's always, no matter what the records are, it's like
it'll
be like pesky and you'll look at it, but Auburn can't get it done this year.
No, but I mean,
they'll have like
this is it.
They'll have like an 8-point spread.
I like Alabama.
Yeah, it's LSU at home. Is it a
and
night?
It's kind of the same for LSU because LSU's got. Well, no, I shouldn't say that. LSU's got a very pesky Vandy.
They got Florida and Vandy.
Florida and Vandy and Oklahoma.
Night at LSU.
That's a night at LSU. Give me LSU +3. I already took it. That's where I'm at though. I just don't trust Bama's defense.
I don't think anyone can be like that's a bad bet on either side.
No.
It's just like
I expect it to be like a back and forth, close game.
Anything you wrote down in terms of dogs, outright dogs?
Let me see the one. So a few.
I think you wrote. I circled Kansas on this list because
yes, I have there
about it.
Kansas, I really like. And I've been super high in Iowa State all year.
Is Texas Tech a dog this week?
Yeah, I took them.
I like Texas Tech as well. I like that over, but I'm leaning Texas Tech.
They're good. I mean, Colorado has really, I think, impressed me. Like they're a legit good team. The defense is way better than it was last year. And obviously the receivers are great. Like the offensive line's definitely better. They're also just really good against the spread team. But I don't know. It's Lubbock, like weird place to go. I'm sure going to be like a hostile environment because Texas Tech has still had a good season. Good offense too, explosive. Taj Brooks is like one of the best running backs in the country. I think Texas Tech covers 3.5.
Is this a bounce back for Clemson? -6, Virginia Tech.
I had circled Virginia Tech as one of my teams to watch this year. I thought they would beat Clemson. They're a 500 team. They're just not putting it together. So, yeah, I lean Clemson a little
It's
bit.
only 6. That's where I'm
What
like.
is Dabo off of a loss? I would love to know.
Yeah.
Virginia Tech is doing the exact same thing they did last year where they're bad start, and now they're kind of picking it up. Like, now they're starting playing a lot better last, like, few weeks. That was what they did last season. They, like, ended 6-6, but they started, like, really bad.
Yeah.
And had a strong finish. That was one that I looked at and just was like, I don't know what to do with
Is
this.
Oklahoma's -3 at Mizzou?
It shows you, and that was one of the glaring things to me. Mizzou are glaring things from the top 25.
Yeah.
Mizzou has no business being in this top 25.
No.
They have played 2 teams with a pulse and got absolutely demolished by they lost to A&M was 41 to like 10, and then lost to Bama 34-0.
Yeah.
Like, I've gotten pulverized by any team they play that's even like halfway good.
Yeah.
Like, they have the fact that they're in the top 25 is a disgrace.
It is.
Really
It's,
disgrace.
every time I've
And
watched
now you're
them,
seeing it like Oklahoma's dog shit.
Oklahoma,
3-point favorites on the
I thought it
road.
was a mistake. I'm like, I've seen Oklahoma play. They're not good. I've seen Mizzou play. They're not good.
I think I might play Oklahoma. I haven't bet it yet, but I think I might play
I think you have to.
Because and too, they were quick on the trigger with Jackson Arnold. They're better with him at quarterback than Hawkins.
Yeah.
They went back to him. He's definitely better. Like the Ole Miss, they were competitive, like covered the spread.
Yeah. What do you think,
He throws
Bosco?
the ball better. There's a decent chance I'll be on Oklahoma.
I was looking up Clemson off of a loss. They lost twice in like one time in like 8 years. So Dabo's pretty good off of the loss.
Yeah.
I was looking at his numbers like he wins the game, but I mean that's just showing you where it's at. Who is it? Oklahoma who?
Oklahoma's laying like 2.5, 3.
Yeah, I agree with you. I don't think Mizzou should be
Mizzou's
like
terrible.
I've bet this Mizzou team twice this year and had spots on them. They covered for me against UMass when they just fucking boat raced them because that was a list game. But then they let Auburn hang around. I'm not impressed with this Mizzou team as well. There seems like there's a bunch of like crap. That's why I don't like the playoff going to 16. I don't think 13 through 16 are like playoff worthy. I think 12 is the perfect number.
Yeah.
I also think 1 through 4 after. Think of it this way: like a team like Colorado or K-State or Iowa State or BYU, whoever you think is going to win that conference, they're not a national. In like some of the conference, the ACC as well. Miami could say they're a national title contender. They're fighting just to win that conference and get in the playoff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because they're not getting an at-large bid. So you go through this whole thing.
Miami, I think, could.
Who's Miami hanging his hat on for a win?
But I'm saying they're undefeated.
Yeah,
so,
they have a shot.
So
You're right.
Here's my thing: if they win out and they lose a close game to whether it's at this point it probably would be. I guess it could still be Clemson, but
The
SMU
SMU.
even if they lose a really close game to SMU, I still think Miami
could have a shot.
Miami would be like
my
10
point
or,
is
10 or 11.
they go through a 12-week schedule of like a gauntlet, right? You got to survive and win and get through your conference. Then you play a conference championship game, which takes a lot out of you, and you win. You expect them to play a first-round game the next week? I do think these teams should get a bye. That's why I
hear
like
what
the
you're
12.
saying. No, that's a
I
fair
don't
point.
agree that after a team like that just did everything it's supposed to, now they got to get up and play. They're the 3 seed. They got to play the 14 in the first round. Because why? Because you expanded it to 16? I disagree with that. That's where I disagree with it. I think those conference teams should get a bye 100%.
The shortage
Get a bye, fly out there for 2 weeks, set yourself up at whatever bowl you're going to be at, and there you go.
The shortage of time, I think, is a fair argument. And I agree with the sentiment of, like, if one plays 16, like, when are we ever, like, that spread's
Just
gonna
not
be-
going to get it.
That spread's going to be 2 touchdowns, 10 plus.
20
every
maybe.
time.
Yeah, exactly.
No, you'll see some that could be that high.
Yeah, exactly.
Depending on the year. Like, if you just have a dominant team. And so that part, because 16, like that 13, 14, 15, 16 has, like, if it's a true 1 to 4, like not conference champions, just the 1, 2, 3, 4 team in the country, like they're not. I mean, like you could maybe have some competitive ones. Like for example, if you looked at it right now, how it is, like you'd have Oregon playing. I think it was like Iowa State or someone like that. Maybe they're 16 or 17. You'd have like Ohio State playing like LSU. Would you hear that and you're like, like listen, I think Ohio State wins that game, but obviously you're like, like that's not some like mismatch, crazy mismatch on paper, even just like traditionally. you'd have Miami versus like who was like SMU, A&M.
Yeah, Miami, SMU.
Honestly, Miami could easily lose to SMU or A&M. So there's parts of it where I'm like, you know what, that's not like that crazy, but I agree with you on the like it's tough
running
to
the gauntlet.
have that such a strong season, then you still have to like prove it again. But I also go back and forth where I'm like, but if you can't beat, if Ohio State, if you can't beat LSU at home, like you're not a national title team.
That makes sense.
The time I think makes a lot of sense though.
Yeah.
Like they played an extra game, like they should get another week off because of that. That's fair.
I had the over in Colorado, Texas Tech. I like Fresno. I like Fresno going to Air Force was my best bet. I think this Air Force team is just dog shit.
They are horrible.
And a little spoiler: Air Force's basketball team is just as bad. I'm going to take Jacksonville State tonight plus 2.5. Just as bad. It's a tough
Speaking
year
of
for
basketball,
Air
real
Force.
fast, just really fast.
No, we have topics. I mean, we could.
Absolute joke of a college is the Villanova Wildcats.
Yeah.
You're a joke. You are a national championship. I know it was Jay Wright. You're this culture that you're like, all right, we got this fucking school that can be the next, like, they won what? Two?
They won two.
Two in how many
They're
years?
not a. This is the
Four.
deeper conversation.
Yeah.
They are not a blue blood.
No.
They had a miracle run in '85, and then they won the two. I saw Aaron.
They were on
Torres
their
was
way,
talking
though?
about that.
They had Jay Wright.
They were on their way.
Jay
2
Wright.
and 4 years is on your way.
It's on your
Because
way.
They were also making good runs in the. I don't think they were that close, but they were on their way.
That you could definitely say they were a new blood.
Yeah.
But they had a lot of. He had a lot of like early exits as well.
But he also had
they
a
were
lot of
very.
runs.
Yeah, but you can't
Final
say
Four runs.
yeah, Final Four, and you can all like literally they made the Final Four.
Yes, the last year.
2022.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like
Yeah.
remember
2
Jay
years
Wright
ago.
just retired and didn't make like a big deal about the whole thing.
Yeah.
Yes, no, that was
When we were
bad.
there.
They should have made a big deal about it because you know what? They should have made a big deal because they're fucking dog shit now. They are what an embarrassment. He's got to be loving it.
I like Kyle Neptune.
I think he's
too.
loving it.
Why?
Why do you like him?
I spent the week
Sucks.
hanging out with him.
Yeah, there you go. He
sucks. He got like he was above,
He's not.
literally horrible.
Yeah,
coach.
I like him as a guy. He's not a good coach.
he was 500 at fucking Fordham like
Right.
the year after.
You
People wanted to
lost
suck his dick.
to
And it's like,
Columbia.
Yeah. Columbia's without Liam Murphy too. Shout out St. Peter's. He transferred to North Florida.
Lost to Columbia. That's embarrassing. As Villanova, you're a joke. If I'm a fan, I'm not watching one game this year. That was so bad yesterday. They were
They
minus
did it,
17.
They did it last year too. Didn't they? Lost to LaSalle and they lost
They'll
to
be
on the bubble.
who else?
They've lost to
St.
like
Joe's,
they've lost to 100 plus teams a bunch of times.
They didn't win a Big 5 game last year.
They're in serious trouble. Who do you want to hire? That's the bigger question.
The thing I want
Jay
to say.
Wright.
And actually, I want to say something. I don't think Jay Wright's happy about it.
Oh no.
I think Jay Wright's like such a classy guy.
No.
I think there's
Imagine him coming back.
Evan.
Oh my God.
Evan, let me tell you something.
You think?
I don't
No,
care
no,
if you're
no.
the nicest guy. You're Jesus Christ.
No.
Jesus Christ can come back. When Jesus Christ died and came back, he was like, "Oh, these people miss me." It doesn't matter who you are.
Yes.
You have that little feeling like,
No.
"See, you do need me," but I don't think he's over ecstatic about it.
Well,
I
that's
think
what I'm
he's
saying.
got the dog in him to come back, though. Think he's got the dog in him. I
Yes.
disagree.
I think
he has no chance.
I think
no
he's.
chance.
I think he's more than happy sitting on the CBS.
He's also a guy that developed players. That's not a thing anymore.
right.
You have to be so
Yes.
active in.
Yeah, I think he got out. I think he got out for him at the perfect time.
Yeah.
Somebody, shout out Jackson Hill, actually. He's like a Chaminade kid that I think has really good takes about this. He opened my eyes to it. Nova's trying to be a 4-year program with transfer portal players.
Yeah.
And they're trying to run the Jay Wright program when it's just
Yeah.
not working. They have a revolving door of guards, which is so true. There's no flow on offense.
Is anyone
It's
trying
like-
to transfer to Villanova, like other than for a year? It's a
They
small
would've-
little
They
school.
would have been.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean,
Villanova's a
No, I'm
huge.
saying now. Like, yeah, now that
sure.
he's.
But
for sure.
No, still, yes.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not
Villanova's
like
still
the
a
NIL is like-
basketball school.
Totally.
Like, that's
Yeah.
a school that you get an offer from Villanova, you're like, fuck.
Hell yeah.
NIL is not
Northeast
like
kid for
banging
sure.
there.
Yeah. And yeah, NIL's still there. It's just like.
No, I don't think it is. I
Oh,
don't think
you
it's like. I don't think their NIL is like.
I
that
doubt
crazy.
they would have
I think
great
they have
NIL.
I think they have a decent one.
But probably I bet
I
it would
think
be
Jay Wright
lesser.
just saw the writing
I
on the
bet
wall.
considering the stature of like when you say if you're a college basketball fan, you say Villanova. I would imagine that their stature is much higher than what their NIL is.
Exactly.
Because think about all these like SEC schools that probably dominate them.
Exactly.
That they don't have historical basketball success.
Yeah, I
They,
see
they have
that.
more money.
Exactly.
I see that. But I just think that they're an embarrassment. You lose to fucking Columbia right away. You're a joke. Also, you know who's a joke? Creighton. Kalkbrenner scores 49 points or whatever it is. They won by 7, I think.
Crazy, you're not even close to covering.
Who the fuck?
11 or something.
It was
Within
even
20.
close.
Yeah.
It was.
Kalkbrenner went for 49. I saw that
missed
box. I didn't watch a
2
second of the
shots.
game.
20 for 22.
Yeah, I know. I didn't
Fields.
watch a second of the game.
Missed 2 shots.
I saw the tweets. I'm like, wait, Kalkbrenner. And then I watched the highlight. He was working.
That guy, you have to work that hard
Yeah.
against that team. You're dead.
If he doesn't go otherworldly, they lose.
Shout out.
Lose the game.
Shout, we were right on fucking Auburn.
Yeah, no, you guys were right.
on
You guys are very
Auburn.
right.
So right on Auburn.
Just hang your hat on this one because you won't be wrong again this year.
No, exactly. I'll be wrong tonight, and then I have to fucking read. But it's nice when you just have a fucking snoozer.
Dude, I think
It
Auburn's
was
got a
10
squad
to
for
5,
real.
and then it was like 30 to 6, and like
I mean, no, they went in a 32-4 run to start the second half.
it was unbelievable.
They already were up like
Yeah, they were already up
20
20 because they went on a run at the end of the first half.
Auburn's one of these programs right now where you kind of just everyone has a blank face, which is nice to have in college basketball. Everyone's a blank face, but you kind of know every year, like, holy shit, you at least know in these the beginning of season games, they're just gonna out athlete the fuck. And Vermont, I think Becker from Vermont, the coach, is a top. I would put him at top 5 to top 10 coach in the country.
Wow.
For what he's
High
able
praise.
to do
It's a
year
high
in, year out.
praise.
High praise.
No, I think that like he's just comfortable where he is at Vermont. But if people like tune into him, like he's a great coach. Auburn just fucking poured it on
They
them.
just killed them.
Like you can't do anything.
You know who
about it.
struggled a little
They
bit?
were too good, just totally outmatched.
You know who struggled a little bit? Did you watch any of Arkansas?
Oh, yeah.
Lipscomb's
Yeah,
pretty
they
good.
were. They ended up covering.
We
They did
said
cover.
They covered.
Late, like
Well,
and
no,
I think
for sure,
I think we put the tweet
No, 'cause
out. It was
I-
14 or 16.
They won
It
by
was-
17. Yeah, there was like 14
Yeah.
and a half.
But
Boogie hit the layup.
We talked about it, though. Lipscomb's a good team.
Yeah, solid.
Like they're a team that they're not like
I fell in love with them a couple of years ago.
No.
Remember
You're
that
used
phase?
to, they're a team you're used to
they're a
seeing
team
in the
that's
tournament.
not
Yeah.
dog shit.
Right.
You know, they're not a team that's gonna. You'll see them probably at the end. It's just the fact that college basketball's getting going now. Like
There's a good game Saturday.
who's
Right in the middle of football.
Yeah,
It's
Dayton
Auburn,
Northwestern.
Houston.
Yeah.
Auburn, Houston is a big one.
Baylor, Arkansas too.
Dayton
That's
Northwestern.
we call that the pronunciation bowl. It's Auburn versus Houston.
That's bullshit. Fucking like college basketball's got to figure it out. The fact that that game's on
Yeah, they
ESPNU
shouldn't-
at 9:30 at fucking night, and it's the number 1 and number 2 teams in Ken Palm, and arguably the 2 best. Like
It's
two
on at
Final Four
9:30
teams.
on Saturday.
Yeah.
See, I actually think that's
No, you don't. You
No,
don't
I
think
don't,
it's
'cause
better.
it's
You're
going
just trying to
against-
spin zone this.
it's going against Auburn.
You're trying to put it on your main TV. It's not.
Let's be honest though. Why is college basketball to figure it out? Like what?
Yeah, but it's better than going in the middle
Do
of the
it-
day, dude. You're
do-
getting lost in the whole shuffle.
what
It
games
should
were on
be
last-
in the middle of the week.
What
should
game
go
was
out.
on last
Oh.
night?
Yeah, but they're
Should be
doing
Tuesday.
that.
1,000%.
No, but
I'm saying
but-
I'm making eggs. I'm making lemonade
I
out
don't
of
agree with
lemons
that,
here.
Because also in the middle of the week is Tuesday, and it's also going to be like Duke and Kentucky are playing, Michigan
Champions
State,
Classic.
and that's what they do that. It's just all
This week.
more people are watching. What's this beyond Duke and Kentucky than Auburn and
Houston.
Houston.
Agree.
Yeah, but I think you're trying to like going against football.
It's stupid. No, it's definitely stupid. But the problem is that they don't do many non-conferences later in the year.
That's the we've
that's
said
the
that for a
problem,
million times. Their problem is they don't try to own Christmas week or around around right after Christmas. They could try to own that now with the bowls diminishing.
January
and they should
should
do
be-
Martin Luther King weekend and the weekend of, I think the Super Bowl and President's weekend. They should try to own.
I would
the
love-
NBA is off.
Well, if you ever leave this job, you need to schedule college basketball games. You would love that.
Bosco, that December 14th day that I was talking about, like,
Loaded.
They loaded and they own it now because I think that's like
Because it's
probably
only Army, Navy.
maybe Army Navy and the Heisman and like
Yeah.
all the games
Be
leading up to that.
honest, they gotta go back to the 24
Yeah, but that's
hours.
one day.
Yeah.
They need the 24 hour.
Pretty good fucking day.
Yeah, Reeg said that. That's
They need it
unbelievable.
because that was something that everyone looked forward to besides March Madness. Now it's just kind of March Madness, but listen, this year is going to be fucking unbelievable. UConn also won 92-56 yesterday, so they're
After starting slow in the first half.
I have a take.
Yo, I want to do. Hold on, I do have to give a touch on. You guys might not be that familiar. Have you seen some of the stats of these Montford kids?
Yeah.
They were so good that they rotated 6 starters last year. They got fucked by the McDonald's All-American thing because you can only have 2 McDonald's All-American. They made a exemption to have 3 because it was Cooper Flag. They were literally the top. They had all 6 of those kids should have made the McDonald's All-American game. All of them. They came out and some of these stat lines. Have you seen any of these? Asa Newell, Derek Queen.
Derek Queen's
fucking
insane.
Cooper Flag. They're fucking Liam McNeely.
Flag.
They're fucking out of
Might not-
control.
might
Montford
not
is
lose a
out of
game in his
control.
career.
What?
He might not lose a game until he gets the NBA.
Who's that?
Cooper Flag.
Stop.
He might not.
Stop.
He's 34-0 in his high school and college career.
They're going to lose
The
again.
stats that these kids put up were
Might
ridiculous.
lose to Kansas.
The kid Queen, like I didn't think he was even that big. He put up 20 rebounds.
Yeah, no, he went nuts. I started watching Montverde at the end of the year a little bit.
Yeah, they were on TV a ton.
I was just randomly familiar with like Derek Queen. I was like, how do I generally know that?
This is the most excited I've been for college basketball. Not just because of Duke, just because there's like 10 teams right now.
It's a lot because of Duke.
Just because it's
It's a lot because of Duke.
No, I'm gonna
Really a lot.
I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna come back to
Is
this.
a lot of it.
I'm gonna come back. Yeah, completely because of Duke.
that was one of the most ridiculous things you've ever said.
But
Just looking at it with fair
obviously,
eyes.
Me and Dukes looked at each other through the guys and were like, come on, bro. This guy can't be serious.
Obviously, but seriously though, but I know I am very excited about Duke, but the rest of the league is really fucking good. Like there's not Kansas is a unbelievable team.
Kansas is very good.
Alabama's unbelievable.
Loaded.
Who?
Auburn's
ACC
loaded.
kind of sucks this year.
UNC, right? That's like really all
on paper going into the year. Obviously, everything can change.
something. Well, yeah, everyone says that the last.
Honestly,
2 years.
I'll even say Big Ten doesn't look spectacular.
No, Big Ten blows.
Big Ten's bad.
Well, they win.
not
they win the
top heavy at
championship
all.
every
Not a
year,
clear-cut number one, but
Yeah,
that
no,
can also
no
could always
clear-cut
change.
number one.
I'm done with the ACC talk because the last 2 years you've gotten Miami Final Four, people that you didn't expect, NC State Final Four. I want nothing to do with this
ACC
ACC
used
talk.
to celebrate championships.
Huh?
ACC used to celebrate championships.
Now they want participation medals now.
Ooh, participation. Everyone just says that. You guys tell me that guy. It's terrible. I have to defend this fucking conference every year. There's zero.
Did they get rid of the ACC
Zero.
Big Ten Challenge? Now I think it's ACC SEC, right?
SEC, yeah.
That's a shame.
Big East, Big
That
12.
that was a shame that Duke never played Maryland in that.
What's the
Yeah, that was our coach.
what percent right now? Me and you, because you're an Alabama fan. What percent are you putting? You're getting in the Final Four. I'm not kidding.
It's still such a crapshoot. Like 20?
20% you don't.
No, I think 20% they make it. I shouldn't say that.
I shouldn't
say that.
I would say Bosco.
It's still such a fucking
I don't think it's that
crapshoot.
crazy.
No, hold on a second.
Dude, it's still a crapshoot.
second.
It's still a crapshoot.
We need hold on one second.
20%.
Bosco, you just made a deal where you.
No, I
have
didn't
to
make the
ride-
deal yet.
It's not official. But they're in.
You could have an injury. You don't know, bro. I mean, it's still the tournament.
Talks of taking a 40-hour bus ride if they don't.
20%.
Plus 240.
I'm telling you, Duke. I would say a 75% chance to make the Final Four.
That'd mean
That's
they should be minus like
crazy.
400.
That's insane. That's what I'm saying.
Like
so
maybe-
my 20, I went
like
low.
maybe-
I went low. He
20
went
is
high.
no.
But if it's Price is Right, you just got knocked out because 75 is insane.
No, it's not.
75 is way over the fucking
because
total.
I know my team's gonna get there.
Way over
Your
the
team
total.
is not is poorly coached and
No, that's not true.
and
He's
you
an
shoot
unbelievable
threes like
tournament
he's
coach.
poorly
He didn't
coached.
have to shoot threes
Poorly
this year.
coached?
Poorly coached, and my coach is better than yours, and we're gonna get there. You're not.
You had the easiest road to the Final Four last year, and you couldn't do it with your amazing coach.
We didn't have a great team, you dumb fuck.
Did an 11 in
You
the
were
fucking
saying
Elite
last
8.
year that this is.
They were
you not saying
okay.
that last
Did a
year.
conference
This
opponent
year,
in the
if
Elite
we
8.
don't make the
Do it.
Final Four, it's one of the most embarrassing things I've ever seen.
You think that inexperience could show up in the tournament?
We have experience, schmobag.
But your two best players that you guys keep harping on are your two
Yeah,
freshmen.
they also have experience because one guy went undefeated. Other guy's a bull.
Which one's which? Which
Con
one's
Knupple's a bull,
Knupple's the ball?
and Cooper Flagg's undefeated.
He played. I mean, but if Cooper Flag's not on the team, they'd still be undefeated. Montverde last.
No, absolutely not.
You don't think so?
No. Cooper Flag was
I'm not going to pretend I'm
one of
super
the
well
six.
versed in all the teams they're
He was
playing.
number
I'll take
one.
Cade and them. I want Cade
Cade
and
and
them.
them.
Yeah, Cade and them would
Cade and
lose.
them.
My take is
Cade them?
I think UConn potentially could be better than last year.
It's scary.
Dukes, I'm in with you.
So
I'm in
scary.
with you. If Ohio State
That's
doesn't win it
crazy.
all, it'll be because UConn three-peated.
Because
so
I
scary.
legitimately think that if I had to, it doesn't even matter. Like UConn for me is like I don't even care who's on the other side, like who they're facing. You know how we always talk
They're the
about
best
You know how
coached.
we talk about the matchup based, like oh yeah, like if Bama doesn't have to play this team, like I think that you give them a 20% chance. UConn is the one team I'd be like, yeah, there's like a 45% chance I'd give them to make the Final Four. Like doesn't matter on
Jesus
matchups.
Christ.
Mahaney, McNeely, Caravan.
Dude, Tarris Reed, Tarris Reed is
Stacked.
is off the bench, and he's someone that I think will only get better. Samson Johnson, solo ball.
Samson.
Did you see the
Hassan
TikTok of
Diarra
Hurley
is-
just acting like a maniac too at practice?
Dude,
Yeah, it's
Hurley's
nuts.
the best coached.
Yeah.
Hurley's the number one coach.
He's the best coach. They are the best coach team.
Did you hear what he said about the 3P too? He's like, yeah, all these guys are seeing like the back-to-back championship banners, the back-to-back championship sweatshirts around campus, and all these guys they're fucking starving. He's like, it's weirdly the perfect storm. I'm like, all right, like why?
They're sick of seeing back-to-back, and they didn't play a part in it. They want their own.
Did you see
That's what he
him
said. He said, we haven't had a guy do anything here at UConn, and you're walking around the practice. You're doing this. You're doing that. Yeah.
Look
so
at
that's
McNeely,
bro. There was another one.
He hasn't won anything.
There was another one. He bounced him a ball. He's like, give me the ball, and he fucking like pounds it. Like so angrily that it dribbles away, and he just goes, "Give me another one!" Like to the kid, the full kid standing.
We gotta go to the NFL game tonight.
It's unbelievable.
It's where listen.
It was on the topics. Like
no, it is. But we love college basketball so much, we gotta reel it back sometimes because people are like, "All right, it's one game in," but
and we got a banger of a thing.
It's a bang. I'm really excited to watch this one tonight.
Game.
Really excited to watch this one tonight.
It is. I'm telling you, it's a shootout tonight.
Yeah, I think so too.
Shootout. I can't wait.
Too.
The purple jerseys for the Ravens.
Woo!
It's
Ravens laying 6.5
at Ravens.
I didn't realize it was that high.
6.5. I mean, it makes sense, dude. Makes sense. The
They've been smashing teams.
The Bengals defense is awful, and the Ravens literally are scoring. Lamar's like averaging like 280 yards, like 300 yards a game.
He's going nuts. Lamar's having it. He's having he's almost like matched his MVP numbers in like 9 weeks.
And I want to say this.
He threw 24 touchdowns last year. I think he has 20 or.
Bro, there's a stat.
17?
The Ravens have 34 touchdowns. I could be wrong, but the Ravens have 34 touchdowns this year. That's more than like 7 teams last year.
Definitely
or something ridiculous. Maybe more. Might be more than 13 teams last year at this point. Like they're fucking scoring like out of control.
You don't know ball if you think Lamar's the MVP right now. That's all I'm going to say.
Why? Who should it be?
He's definitely in the race.
It's one. He's definitely in the race.
He's top 2, I'd say.
I think with you take the guys out of it. Josh Allen is putting together a very, very unbelievable season for not a great cast around him. That's all I'm saying.
He's having a great year.
He's having a great year where his main thing is interceptions. He's got 2, and one was off.
Lamar's only got 2.
But Lamar is obviously amazing. But his team did get better this year. That's a fact. Derrick Henry is unbelievable.
Yeah, no, Henry should be like 5 or 6 in MVP probably.
Yeah, I just think that the MVP award is that this guy is literally winning the Bills games, and Lamar is as well, but he does have a better supporting cast.
Do you guys want to fact check that Bosco stat?
Which one?
The one about the touchdowns?
Yeah, go ahead, Phil.
Yeah, let's do it,
So
Phil.
as we see, Ravens have 34 total touchdowns on the year. That's correct, Bosco.
Right.
Now let's go to 2023. And let's scroll down.
This guy
he is right. Like there are several teams that didn't have that many last year.
Yeah, how many?
Falcons, Titans, Steelers, Giants, Pats, Panthers, Jets. That's
So why did we
1, 2,
fact check
3,
this?
4, 5, 6, 7. 7 teams.
Okay.
No, I
Got
think-
close.
think
I
you're
thought I
right.
was about to be embarrassed.
I think Meek was trying to extend an olive branch there.
All right,
Yeah.
I got it right.
I wanted
was
to
the craziest
validate
thing
that.
I think Meek threw the curveball and says,
No, I actually think
nice guy.
I think we got to show a little bit more respect to the stat. They're 9 weeks in, and they've scored more than fucking 7 teams all of last year.
It is pretty.
That's pretty crazy.
Dude, teams are just so bad. It doesn't surprise me too much because literally, like you watch the Giants every week. We don't score a lot of touchdowns.
Pull that up again, Phil, and pull up this year.
Look how excited his stat is right now.
correct.
He's like, let's talk about the stat more that I was right.
Exactly. Brad canceled. Pull up this year.
This year,
Yeah.
2024.
How many teams do you think are not going to score 34 touchdowns? All the way down to the bottom.
Okay, these teams definitely aren't.
Where are the Giants? Giants might be last.
Giants are 4. Oh, my
The
bad.
Patriots might, because Drake May's the quarterback.
Giants, oh my God. 14
Dolphins have 12.
Dolphins never would have got that touchdown stat.
14 touchdowns.
How many teams do you think cannot score 34? There's a lot on there.
Panthers aren't getting there. Steelers probably not.
1, 2, 3, 4.
I bet there's
So they did in half the season
possibly
what some
10.
teams would
I think
do.
there's a chance 10 teams
Yeah.
don't score 34 touchdowns.
And they got it halfway through the season. Like, put some respect on the Ravens. How many touchdowns do the Lions have this year?
32. They're
32.
2 behind them.
Yeah, exactly. So,
All right. Can I do a couple
Bills
stats
31.
real fast?
sure. Make sure they're right.
We're
Phil will
doing
check
stats. Yes, I follow a guy, Cody Brown. It's good Twitter follow. Bengals play zone coverage on 68% of plays this season. Zay Flowers ranks 16 in the NFL yards per run route against the zone. He has 100-plus yards in his 4 of his last 5 games. He also has 111 yards against the Bengals in Week 5. 50-plus yards for him tonight is a pretty good bet. Put it in like a parlay.
I bet it like I took him. I think it's over 58.5. I got receiving yards.
Yeah, you can get probably 50-plus on DraftKings
50
for like
plus
a little.
would be juice like
Give me that
crazy.
bet again.
What?
Who is it?
Zay Flowers.
I was over 50.5. You want to do?
It's like 58 and a half.
58 and a half.
But
I think
also Lamar's line is 232.5 yards. He's covered in 3 straight for Cincy. He also has 280-plus yards in his last 5 games, averaging 304 yards. 232 sounds a little low for him.
Yeah. Especially if you think it's going to be a shootout.
Joe Burrow has 2-plus passing TDs in 6 of the 9 games this season. So that's another. The Ravens are a good run defense, allow the most passing yards per game as well. 1.9 passing touchdowns per game.
I like this line has dropped too. It was 205 when it opened. It's now down to 170. I like Mark Andrews plus 170 to score a touchdown tonight. He's finding his way in that offense.
But last week he did nothing.
Likely's out, which helps him.
Yeah,
He's finding his way in that offense.
No, you're right. But this last week he did absolutely nothing, and that's where I'm like, it get nervous because also last week they scored 41 points and he did nothing.
For a lot of the season, he's done a lot of nothing though. You know what I mean? He's only
2
just
weeks in a
come
row
on.
he got.
He just started getting going.
Zay Flowers truly is just. Zay Flowers is my favorite receiver in the NFL.
He's awesome.
He's so
good.
fucking good. Who's Boston College?
Yeah, BC.
He's so good.
Do you have a rooting interest in the game tonight? Because I'm rooting for the Bengals.
I'm rooting for the Ravens.
I bet the Bengals. I bet the Bengals plus 6.5.
Overall, why are you rooting for the Ravens?
Because the Bengals. I'm done with the Bengals being in the playoffs. They can't. Their defense is that bad.
Yeah, but all right. So that means
I love Joe Burrow. Actually, I like Joe Burrow. I'm just sick. I'm sick of. I want this to put it to bed.
who do you want in the wild card? Because the Ravens are in. You want the Chargers and the Broncos? You want the Colts? Like, I'd rather have the Bengals in a wild card game.
Yeah, I guess if like you're.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm rooting for the Bengals. Get the Bengals into a wild card game.
They should have beat them the first time around.
That's the thing. Like they should have beat a lot of teams and they just keep doing stupid shit. Like last week, I
don't want to watch the Broncos.
Who they lose to 2 weeks ago or the last week? The Bengals lost.
They got smoked by the Eagles. They were winning early.
Eagles.
And got
That's the
smoked by
game too, where it's like they had to win that game. Were they 3-5?
3-5.
3-5.
3-5. This is
Need this
3-6 is done.
Need it. Gotta have this
Not
one.
done, but 3-6 is no good. No good for them.
I think they keep it close. I think it's a shootout.
I just think the Ravens are literally just so much. I think they're so much better.
I just think it'll be back and forth because, like you said, I like you showed with the stats. I think Burrow, they're going to be able to throw the ball all over the place. He carved them. He threw 5 touchdown passes the last time they played, and that was a few weeks ago. I just think they're going to have success. Also, someone I like props to like today, especially with Higgins, is like doubtful. He loves Gesicki.
Yeah, he
Loves
loves
Gesicki. His over yards I played already too. It's like 50. I think it's like 53.5 now. I think I played like over like the 50 plus, like a little bit juiced. But yeah, he loves him, and he even said in the press conference this week, he said how like how comfortable he's gotten with him, and I think he's kind of become like when Higgins is out, he's become like the number 2.
And is Higgins out?
He's out.
He's doubtful. So
Definitely
like,
out.
essentially he's out.
And Gesicki scored like his first 2 touchdowns like last week.
Yeah, he hit the gritty.
Yeah, twice.
And he had one a few weeks ago that he got robbed that I thought it should have stood as a touchdown. But yeah, he loves throwing to him. I like the Zay Flowers. Probably think Zay
Higgins
Flowers
being
go way
out
over.
too is just that's another that hurts them a lot.
I think they can keep it within a touchdown. I think it's a close game. I think it's back and forth. I think they both score a lot.
I'm on Ravens tonight, but I
guess I'm on the over.
I don't want to watch the fucking Broncos in a wild card game. I don't watch the Colts in a wild card game.
I'm on Bengals plus 6 because division game. I'll take the team with the points in the divisional game.
They were up 10 in the fourth quarter with the ball, and just an unfortunate pick. They lose. They should have won in overtime too.
I'm just glad we're getting a Thursday night game that's like awesome.
Yeah,
and I'm taking the overs not only because I think it's gonna be back and forth. I almost feel like the over is like almost like feels like a little insurance policy on the Bengals.
Yeah.
Because there's a world where they just go score like 45 or like 40, and then they get blown out, but they still just push it over.
I'm not saying the
kinda how
Bengals
I'm
are going to win, but it's going to be a close game where it's like you'll have a moment that goes viral tonight.
I'm saying they win.
Bengals outright.
I just took the Bengals to win the AFC Championship.
Let's go.
That's a lot of fucking
dude.
pressure.
I took them to make the playoffs and to win the AFC Championship.
All right, so speaking of that, that's a crazy bet. I'll give you these, or
Is it?
crazy. It's definitely a bold take.
Yeah,
I got 3 bold takes on an ESPN article from this morning for the second half. You can buy or sell these quickly. Ravens Super Bowl, buy or sell. That's from Ben Solak.
I don't think it's like a hot take though.
That's not the hottest take, but it's just what he.
They're one of the favorites.
What he put.
Yeah, top 3.
Yeah,
Top
says it's because of their pass defense. These are the two. These are two that are more like not that crazy, but it is what it is. I'll end on the last one. That's I think the craziest. Bucks in a wild card spot. Buy or sell.
Buy, because I think Falcons win the division.
But that means that the Bucks can make the wild card.
Yes, I do. I think they can.
They have a good schedule.
Yeah.
Bucks also look what they're doing.
Evans will be back.
There are a lot of games. There are a lot of teams though in this mix.
I think
Minnesota's 6-2, Philly 6-2, Green Bay 6-3. Then you still have the Bears, the Rams, the 49ers, and the Bucks all in that big mix.
Meek said it too. They haven't played the Panthers yet. Like, they very easy schedule.
Yeah, all right. But there's a lot of teams in that mix. That's like the wild card in baseball when you're 3.5 games back, but there's 9 teams in front of you.
Do you think the Chiefs could win the Super Bowl? Look what the Bucks just did with Sterling Shepard as their number 1 receiver. Like, they literally, Sterling Shepard looked like he was back on the Giants.
He was like 2018 Giants.
Baker's fucking good, man.
He's good. I think this one is the craziest. Buy or sell. The Dolphins make the AFC wild card from Jeremy Fowler.
No, sell.
Yeah, I'm selling that as
They're
well.
cooked.
They'd have to win out, I think, right?
I am not selling that.
They're 2-6, I believe, right? Or 2-7.
2-6, bro. Rams.
Okay, can the Bengals make the playoffs if they go 3-6?
No,
Probably
What do
not.
you mean?
I'm asking you. Do you think they'll still make the like they're 3-5 right now? They lose tonight. Do you think they could still make the playoffs?
I don't think so.
I don't know.
I think they have a better. I think they have a much, and not just because of the game lead. I think they have a much better chance than the.
Even odds
What?
to make the playoffs for Bengals.
What are the Dolphins?
Plus 500.
Yeah, this guy. I was reading this. I'm like,
It's not. I don't.
at
think
Rams, Raiders, Patriots, they could rattle off 3 in a row
That's
and then
what
get
I'm
back
saying.
to
That's what I'm saying, dude.
at Packers, Jets, at Texans, 49ers, at Browns, at Jets.
No, sell.
I don't
No,
know.
it was the craziest one.
I'm not selling it.
Yes,
I'm
to
not.
make the playoffs plus 500. Wow.
3, 4. They could be 5-6 going to the Packers.
No shot. I'm saying no shot.
They
They
could definitely
make
be
the
3.
playoffs.
Yeah.
I'm saying make
5-6 to the Packers. The Jets, the
It
Texans.
could be 5-6 going to the
Jets,
Packers,
Texans,
but the Chargers,
Niners, all those-
the
no,
Chargers
I don't
have the
think so.
Titans, so the Chargers already have 6 wins there. Then they get the Bengals, Ravens at.
Well,
The
the
Chargers have a Chargers. Sell the Chargers. Chargers have a murderer's row.
the
Titans,
Chargers haven't beaten anybody.
Bengals, Ravens, at Falcons, at Chiefs, Bucks, Broncos. That's their run. Sell the Chargers. As good as Harbaugh is, sell the Chargers. That is a brutal stretch.
Yeah.
Then Denver Broncos. What are they at? At Chiefs, Falcons, Raiders, Browns, bye week, Colts, Chargers, Bengals, Chiefs. That ends their schedule. Toughish
but
as well.
a few
So, like the
more
Dolphins don't have that crazy of a schedule. They could rattle off 3 in a
I'm
row,
just
but
saying-
I think that's tough sledding.
Dolphins
the
before
Dolphins
the
to get
season
there.
started, you'd be like, they can make a run. Now they're fully healthy, well, whatever Tua is, and I don't know. I think Tua's gonna go off on Monday. I don't know why. I just have a feeling the Rams still play on. I mean the
Dolphins will
will play on Monday, but I don't know.
It was just 3.
I
it was
kinda,
3 yeah.
I don't think it's no. I don't think the Dolphins one's.
It was 3 hot takes to take a look at.
5 plus 5.
2 not that crazy of takes, but it is what
Raven
it is.
is that's crazy if he thinks that's a hot take.
Yeah.
Ravens are literally.
It was second half takes. It was more like second half takes. And I wrote
he
down
should
the
be
3.
he should be demoted.
I wrote down the 3. I'm on Jacksonville State plus 2.5 tonight. I'm on Mark Andrews to score a touchdown plus
I
170.
have one more. I want to talk a bit about NBA.
Sure.
I had the Warriors 35-1 to win the title before the season. It's now down to 22-1 on DraftKings. And Brian Windhorst said today that keep an eye on the Warriors to make a big trade because they tried to trade for LeBron last year. Could be a big name to make out there in February to try to make one last push for Steph.
Yeah.
A big
Giannis?
Greek name.
Wow.
Giannis there would be pretty.
He's serious.
Yeah.
They're already so good defensively. With Giannis, they'd be insane
I
defensively.
mean, I know no Jaylen Brown last night, and the Celtics are completely fine. I'm not even saying anything about them, but like the Warriors still look like they kind of
They're
like
good
seem like
Warriors.
they
They're
know
good.
their roles now.
They're good.
They have a flow going. Trace Jackson Davis is good.
Solid
good
player.
pro.
He's a good pro.
Solid player.
Wiggins is getting
Wiggins, good player.
He's a good player. They're getting there. What do you think about Trae Young?
He's a loser.
Yeah, he's
I hate how Knicks
I don't like
fans
him at all.
I mean, the Knicks got to beat him.
He's
though.
literally been irrelevant for like 3 years.
I
Like
hate how the
their
Knicks
team
use
is
him.
literally only relevant
to
because
the
of beating
Knicks.
the Knicks.
That was a tough loss.
Also, he was talking shit to Knicks fans. Like the game was in Atlanta.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
was
Like,
weird.
he's acting like he's doing that at MSG. Like you're literally in Atlanta. There's like a handful of Knicks
Way
fans.
cooler if he did that at MSG.
He's going to
It's also, I
Turkey.
guess, in his defense, like he would never get the mic.
Well, look in the
MSG.
mirror and think, why is your home arena being invaded every time? Like,
Yeah, because your team sucks.
Well, the Knicks always travel too, though.
because
but-
you want the Hawks, they invest in Trae Young being their best player, and shocker, it doesn't work out.
right.
I know it's early. Knicks need to figure it out.
No doubt.
figure it
Defensively,
out.
they need to figure it out.
Ole gave some good minutes.
I don't think they have a great. The bench is very, very.
No, we have no
nobody.
bench. We have no
I don't
bench.
like the cat at the 5 line. I thought Jenks had a good point today.
I don't
It's
either.
like,
I hate it at the 5.
maybe try plugging Huck Bordy
Didn't
or
Cat
Sims
play
in the
really
starting
well last
lineup.
night?
That played great, but
played well.
defensively, I just don't like him defending the 5. He's not good at that. Offensively, he's been fantastic. He's getting rebounds. He had 34 last night.
Is Mitchell Robinson hurt?
Yeah, he's hurt till like January. He's out for a while. And we can't even rely on him long term. Like he gets hurt all the time.
Yeah.
I'd like a healthy Mitchell Robinson at the 5 and like put Josh Hart on the bench and make Cat the 4. I like
would've
the
been
way that
great?
looks a lot better.
Like, we're not playing our best roster
That
right now.
would've
Like,
been
this isn't
great
our
right now.
complete
Yeah.
roster.
The guy
Same
went to
with the Celtics.
OKC. That would have been a great guy to have still. Hartenstein.
too much money. It's a shame.
I know.
Honestly, you want to know what the sad part about it is? It almost. I remember talking to Clem about this in playoff time. It like fucked us that Mitch Robinson got hurt
he played well.
because we saw Hartenstein play extended minutes and play well. If he just played his normal role,
Yep.
we would have been the only ones that realized how valuable he was, and we would have had him back on like a reasonable contract.
100%.
But he got a massive contract because he earned it.
he showed out.
He showed out in the playoffs. He showed out all regular season.
And he's been out with a broken hand. To
Yeah,
start
he's
the
not
year.
playing. He's not playing for OKC right now because he's hurt.
Ev picks.
I'm on the Bengals in the over tonight. Shootout. I think Joe keeps it close. He said I'm on over Flower yards, over Gesicki yards, and in college football I'm on App State money line over Coastal. The over 62 in that game, and I like ECU laying the points against FAU in the Carolinas.
Marty.
I'm going Penn minus 19.5. I'm going Stony Brook plus 5.5. Florida minus 24.5. And then DePaul minus 15.5. You guys got to put together a little good team over there.
Holtman.
Yeah.
But this is the Holtman special though. Watch. Talk to me about it in 2 years.
Oh, no. Yeah.
He did the same thing in Ohio State that first year.
Yeah, but he's kind of DePaul's been so bad. He might just be perfect for him.
No doubt. But I'm saying the year he got hired by Ohio State, they were predicted to be last place in the Big Ten. We were a 5 seed in the tournament. Everyone, that was the Keita Bates Diop year. They were incredible. Jay Sean Tate, and then you start seeing he's a horrible X and O's coach. Everyone transfers because they don't like playing for him.
Yeah.
I blanked. Who did you guys hire?
Jake Diebler, who was the interim, who did it. He was a phenomenal.
Oh, okay.
We just promoted him to the full-time coach.
You were looking at somebody else. I felt like.
I think
what threw me off.
he did such a good job, and the team responded to him so well.
Hands were tied. They had to hire.
I liked it. I was in favor of it before they did. I was like, give him a shot. Like,
I'm going
he
with
did
the
really well.
Ravens as well, and the over, and I'll put up my props later.
All right. What do you got, Dukes? He's just rattling shit off.
Mike's off.
Iowa minus 27.5. Utah minus 29. Chattanooga plus 16.5. Prairie View plus 16.5. USC minus 23.5. And my favorite one tonight is Wake minus 26.5.
Yeah, Wake's supposed to be pretty good.
Shout out
Bama
to
smacked them in a
Forbes.
scrimmage, but they're supposed to be pretty good.
I can't wait to fucking play you.
That's
If you guys play in the Final Four, that'll be or national title. God forbid.
Oh my god. That actually might right. That might actually be like we might fight.
I don't know about fight. I mean, people fight.
It's physical. I'm thinking it's gonna be like a lot of fights.
That's picks. That's picks. That's right. Yeah,